must be too real to touch. You'll never in your life try to knock the truth. The illest shit ever. Get ready, cause this is about to get heavy.
Trying to keep me out, trying to censor what I say, cause they don't like what I'm talking about. So it's wrong with the media today.
Prove I'm lying if I ain't correct.
Here's what they think about you. Here's what they think about you. Here's what they think about you.
What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Here's what they think about you. Here's what they think about you. Now, the hottest topic in boxing currently is Saul Canelo. I was born ready. He dumped his belts. He vacated. He says, I'm not going to be pressured. There's no timeline. I'm not waiting for these artificial deadlines. You could still negotiate a fight for Triple G, but I'm not going to be under no pressure to do it. And I made a video about it. I also made some posts before this announcement and also after. So we're going to play a little here's what they think about you and see the immediate fan responses and reaction. And I'm going to give some of my commentary to these comments. And I told you guys, I seen this coming, and I will make an Ego Valley video. Just be prepared, because I got some shape-shifting weak fans who cannot just admit what it is and what it's not. So I will be producing that video. Just stay tuned, because I got some more fans to bury who are basically trying to squirm and switch up. So let's get some comments. Mike Hawk says, we don't fuck around. And that's obviously talking about what Canelo said after he knocked out Amir Khan. Big Mac, pussy Canelo, laugh out loud. I told you, Triple G is a true middleweight champion. Long live the champ. Canelo's team just stated that they don't do business with Tom Loeffler, that maybe in 7 years they'll change their mind about it. I say everyone is to blame. I don't know where you heard that. I haven't personally heard that. But Tom Loeffler, I talked to him directly, and I might even insert a clip, and he says he has a relationship with Al Heyman and he's worked with everyone. So I don't really get why Canelo's team would say that they don't do business with Tom Loeffler. And to me, that still sounds like a scapegoat, because even if they did say that, which I can't confirm because I haven't personally heard that, but why, if they don't do business with Tom Loeffler and Triple G's side, even though you're on the same HBO network, then why didn't you tell us that back in December instead of leading us to believe that this fight was going to happen if he got past Dominic Wade and Canelo got past Amir Khan? So I don't agree everyone's to blame. That doesn't make sense. Again, if like Floyd Mayweather and Pacquiao, Mayweather made it clear he didn't really want to work with Bob Arum because there's bad blood. He said Arum owed his money. But now why is Canelo, if this is true, why is he all of a sudden saying, oh, we don't do business with him? No Time for Troll says, I was born pussy. Oh, sorry, I meant ready. And it has a picture of a mouse laughing my ass off, smiling. What a pussy Mexican. He wasn't ready. He wasn't born ready. Fucking disgrace to us Mexicans. I was born a pussy, Canelo. Wow, these guys are going in. And keep in mind, I'm reading comments and giving feedback. And I'm going to try not to read anything that's racist or anything, because that's not what I do here on my channel. So, was Canelo really born ready, or was there a C-section involved? Wow, you guys are going in. I was born ready. I was born a pussy. Belt equals 160 pounds. No belts. Canelo weight. Plain and simple. Laugh out loud. You're spot on. That's exactly what I was thinking. Denv said, I was born ready, but complains about deadlines. Hashtag pussy. You guys are going in. Now, what is this person saying? Oh, they're mentioning me. At Boxingego, don't act like you predicted this. I did, moron. I did predict this. And you'll get that in the Ego Valley video. But what do you mean don't act like I predicted this? I remember a couple months back you were saying Canelo won't vacate. That's a lie. When did I say that? Produce the video, put a link in the description or in the comment section of this video where I said Canelo won't vacate, and I'm going to prove the opposite when I do this Ego Valley. See, that's the thing. I don't like fans like this. If you're a boxing fan, come at me with facts. Don't say, oh, don't act like you predicted this and then lie and say some shit I never said. I never said Canelo won't vacate because I wasn't even sure. if he would vacate or not, but I certainly knew it was a possibility. So you ain't never heard me say that. You might be getting me confused with another channel. And WBC will not strip him. See, again, making up stuff that I never said. And that Triple G has to give in to the demands. I never said those things. You're again, produce where I said any of those. That Negro acts like, see, okay, what that Negro acts like he is the best when he knows shit. That's why he never makes UF predictions, because he knows shit. But you're watching my video. Anyway, the rich kid said all that bullshit he said in the ring in his last 2 fights. Laugh out loud. He is a ginger pussy. All the fans should be ashamed. They supported a fuckboy who is scared to fight mandatories. See, and this is the thing. People were all for mandatories. I distinctly remember, and I might even, you know what, new media. I remember me and Troy King did a video. It was a nice day in Oakland, and it was about Gennady Golovkin fighting Dominic Wade, and people gave Troy King hell. I hope I can find it. Here it is. Yep. 3 months ago. See, new media. I show you what I'm talking about. So again, my man, shout out to Killertainment. Follow him on Instagram.
No decent competition, you know what I mean?
He made the video. I just filmed him. And he says Gennady Golovkin gets 0 on a scale, 0 to 10 scale for beating Dominic Wade. Almost 10,000 views and 102 dislikes, 173 likes. And the main thing that people were saying was, oh, this is his mandatory. You're an idiot. First of all, see, look. Jose Ramirez said, first of all, it was his mandatory fight ordered by the IBF, not a voluntary. And there's a ton of people believing that. This video sucked. Let me try to find some more. I remember a lot of people, why black people hates Triple G. I don't know. He was defending his belt. What the heck, guys? I don't know what that is. Let me find it. But bottom line is, the main message, like the people who disagree with Troy, their biggest thing was that, look, and Dominic Wade is the mandatory, right? That's the biggest thing that they were complaining about. Triple G, they were saying, how can Troy King get your shit together? Mandatory. Again, everybody was siding with, going against, everyone was going against what Troy King was saying. At least he's facing his mandatory, unlike Cotto and Alvarez, who ducked their mandatory. Nothing but hate, my niggas. Laugh out loud. Keyword mandatory. Use it next time. Niggers gon' nig, whatever that means. Laugh out loud. What's it called? But again, Wade is Triple G's mandatory. If he don't fight Wade, he will lose the belt. So everybody was on the mandatory hype train about, oh, even though we haven't heard of this guy, Dominic Wade, and he's set to get annihilated, that he was the mandatory. So it makes sense for Golovkin to fight. And I mean, obviously you could argue it's his mandatory, adjective, mandatory, required by a law or rule, obligatory, the mandatory retirement age, right? So look, where was that? I just seen another one. Wade is mandatory. And who else is Triple G going to fight? So there's a ton of comments and everybody kept saying mandatory. So they gave Troy King hell, saying, why would you not give him any credit when he's fighting his mandatory? Fast forward to the future, Triple G is Canelo's mandatory, and we've known that since December. And now all of a sudden people are against mandatory. Some of the same fans, I'm assuming. Let's keep going. This was the gayest shit I have ever seen. Talked all that shit, but when shit gets real, drops the belt and runs, shaking my head. People so busy worrying about PBC and TMT that Golden Boy Promotions is straight gaming, folks. Man, this is a fucking disgrace for us Mexicans, shaking my fucking head. Jose Cuervo, what fights did he take that no one wanted him to take besides Lara? All them other fights, he was a clear favorite. Good point. I don't even know why he said that. I mean, and he called out Mayweather, so I mean, everyone, and that's the thing, everyone wants to fight Mayweather because it's a huge payday, win, lose, or draw. And against bigger guys, he might not knock them out because they're, you know what I mean, bigger. Triple G, Shady Slim said Triple G might go down as the most feared fighter ever. I don't think, I doubt that. Ever? You know what I mean? What about Mike Tyson's and Aaron Pryor's? I don't think ever, but he's definitely avoided by some now. Julio Hernandez said, the only way Canelo can redeem himself is to beat Triple G. What do you guys think about that? After further inspection of the belt, Canelo found Triple G name on the belt. Wow, you guys are going in. By default, that means he didn't earn it. Well, he technically did, because he worked, Gennady Golovkin worked himself into a position where he became an interim champion with the WBC, therefore putting him in a mandatory position. He was down to fight Canelo, and Canelo's the one that vacated. So you can't blame him. See, this is what's wrong with boxing. What do you mean he didn't earn it? He put himself into the position where he was next up. And they agreed that after these voluntary defenses in December, Dominic Wade and Amir Khan, that they were set to negotiate for fighting each other. So how didn't he earn it? Triple G and team, they really did their part. That's a duck by Canelo, vacates the belt. But that's what's wrong with boxing. People saying he didn't earn it. He put himself in that position, regardless of if you. I don't think this is. I'm being honest. I keep it true with you guys. I don't think Golovkin has a stellar resume, but I mean, you can't knock him for putting himself in a position to be a mandatory. Period. Henry May says no boxer cares about belts anymore because belts don't bring in the money anymore. Casual fanfare brings in the money now. But I disagree with that to a degree, because Amir Khan versus Canelo was supposed to be a casual fight with two big name fighters, one from the UK with a name in the States, and then also Canelo, who brings a whole country behind him in Mexico and also is known in the States. And the pay-per-view numbers didn't do that great. I guarantee you a title fight, a unification with Canelo and Triple G, would do way more than what Amir Khan did with his fight with Canelo, period. So I can't agree with that. Like, nobody cares about belts. Some people don't care about belts, and they look at it from just a pure business. I wonder who they'll both fight next, says Gold. And that's a good question, because at the end of the day, it's going to be a lot of pressure, more so on Canelo, because he's the one that vacated. Bayron 13, Eagle Valley needs to share his opinion. Canelo turned to 1, Gabriel. Ricardo Castillo said, I actually agree with 99% of this video. I still believe the fight will still happen in September, belt or no belt. I don't. You got to analyze what you just said. So why would you take away a respected belt? It's not like he has an NABO belt or something that's not as recognized and world renowned as the green belt. Everybody, I even heard people like Danny Garcia and Adrian Broner like, man, we only fight for green belts, because that's the probably the most, out of all the sanctioning bodies, the most respected. It has a rich history, a lot of great champions. Everyone respects the WBC and the WBC belt. So if Canelo, he had as a unification, Canelo was the full champion or the regular champion, and Triple G was the interim champion. So they had a chance to consolidate that. So why would you give up your belt if you really truly wanted to make the fight? You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. And as far as the pressure, I'm not buying that, because you have 15 days from beating Amir Khan, but you've known about this since December. Like I said, you've known about this because that's when you guys negotiated that if you beat your voluntary defenses, then the clock would start ticking after May 7th when you fight and beat Amir Khan. It's just no different than Andre Ward and Sergey Kovalev. I've interviewed both of them a couple times in recent memory, and they know a lot of the questions are geared towards them facing each other, even though they have two voluntary fights in between. Because at the end of the day, they know if they stay winning, if they keep winning and looking good, they're supposed to fight each other after 2 fights. So that's why they're answering a lot of questions about, oh, Kovalev, what do you think about fighting Ward? Ward, what do you think about Kovalev? Because it's already an agreed upon deal. So I don't agree with this belt or no belt, because why would you take away some of the fanfare and some of the accolades and incentive for winning this fight because of a deadline, which you knew about since December? Anyway, he goes on. Ricardo says, Canelo has too much pride to not fight Triple G next. I don't know about that, because I don't think, if he has so much pride, I don't think he would have vacated. He knows his fans want it, and letting his fans down will be detrimental to his image. Canelo and Golden Boy, as a promotional company, won't let that happen. The fight is still on. That's your opinion. I don't agree with that. We don't fuck around. We vacate belts. Oscar and Canelo are fucking disgrace to the Mexicans, faggots. Wow. Y'all are really going in. Definitely expected that. Canelo. Wow. C. Anal. Wow, you guys are going in. Enrique says, This some bullshit, but fuck it. Hopefully that doesn't mean we won't see the fight in the near future. Now let's go to Instagram. Now I posted this on my Instagram. Somebody, Alan Ibarra, said, stop talking shit about Canelo. This is before Canelo vacated, like 6 hours ago. This was before the announcement that he had vacated. Said, stop talking shit about Canelo. Canelo is your dad. Stop making Canelo's videos and get a job. Canelo is not going to pay your bills for the rest of your sorry broke ass life. See, this is the cliche radical Canelo fan. If you like Canelo, that's great. I like Canelo too, but I call it like I see. What are you talking about? Stop making Canelo videos. Why would I stop making Canelo videos? And why would you be mad that I'm getting paid off of whatever? Let me talk about what I said. Laugh out loud. Some of y'all boxing fans are pathetic babies. And again, this is before Canelo vacated. The second your favorite fighter is challenged or in the hot seat, you make excuses and cry. Wanting to see a good fight or saying Canelo shouldn't fight his mandatory Gennady Golovkin is now considered hating on Canelo. Again, that's what's soft about the game. You say something factual or you support where you're coming from, like, hey, Canelo should fight this, it's a good fight. They say it's hating. What part of the game is this? But those same fans had no problem when I advocated for other great fights for boxing. You ain't never heard me say Mayweather versus Pacquiao, Andre Ward, Adonis Stevenson versus Kovalev, Terrence Crawford versus Victor Postal, Andre Ward versus Triple G, etc. should not happen. Again, I've never said any of those mega fights shouldn't happen for boxing. I always consistently support great fights being made. Now that the beloved Canelo is being pressured, it's because ego hates Canelo. No, I'm just sick of the bullshit. Golden Boy and Oscar De La Hoya went out of their way to bash Mayweather versus Pacquiao. Say Mayweather's protecting his O. Golden Boy is all about the best fighting the best. Okay, now it's your time to prove that. And obviously they didn't because Canelo vacated. Canelo only one loss in the lineal middleweight champion. Golovkin interim WBC middleweight champion with a ton of belts and considered the best. It makes money or business sense. It's a meaningful fight to shape the division, and based on the styles, it should be a great action fight, period. Besides, part of the reason I want to see it is because I want to see Golovkin in there with a live dog, and Canelo might be able to test Triple G. Not because I hate Canelo or Triple G. Some of y'all need to stop being so prideful or just morons attempting to protect your fighter. Many making excuses about why Triple G doesn't deserve the Canelo fight because he just fights bums. But when the conversation was Ward versus Triple G, some of the same fans defended Golovkin not fighting Ward, challenging himself, and had no problem with Golovkin's resume at all. Now when shit gets real, Golovkin's resume is now being scrutinized, but when I had constructive criticism about Triple G's resume compared to Ward's, when the fight was in talks and fans said Ward don't deserve Triple G, I was being racist, quote unquote. Laugh out loud. At least be consistent. If you have a rule for one fighter, let that be the rule for all fighters, not just your favorites. Yeah, I said it, I'm out. Ego rants, hashtag truth, hashtag born ready. So what I'm basically saying, to paraphrase the end, is when the conversation was different, when it was Triple G versus Andre Ward, some people made excuses because they don't care about Ward, and they made excuses for why Ward doesn't deserve the fight with Triple G. And a lot of those same fans had no problem with Triple G's resume. But now all of a sudden, when the threat's against a guy you like Canelo, all of a sudden you're like, oh, he's fighting bums. Who is Triple G beat? He doesn't deserve a Canelo fight. He doesn't deserve it, but he's the mandatory. So let's read some comments. Fuck Alan Ibarra, and that's the person that left the comment. I wasn't gonna read that long ass rant, but I agree. Man, fuck all that noise, man. Was he chalking on Canelo's baby cock? Wow. My dude Ryan said, Boxingego, well put, bro. You keep doing your thing and drop that knowledge. A lot of these fanboys are so uptight these days. Anytime they hear something they do not like, they get all butthurt about it. Ha ha ha. And that's Ryan with Outlaws Boxing. Oh my gosh, I ain't gonna read all that. See, y'all talking about, oh, I'm not gonna read. Y'all scared to read 400 to 800 characters or whatever it is, but y'all always talk about Mayweather can't read in the comment section, but y'all scared to read a little rant or a little caption. He a Canelo fanatic. Okay. What else? Marlon said, hey, I'm starting to think that these Triple G fans are the same fans of Manny Pacquiao. Laugh out loud. They comments are from the same when they're calling Mayweather a coward. Now that the fight is over, they have to jump on G dick 2 years ago. Same fans. Didn't even know who Triple G was. Shaking my head. Mark said, I don't understand why anybody ever thought this fight was going to happen this year. Shit blows my mind. What? Cause Canelo said I don't fuck around. That means Oscar's gonna make the fight? Hell nah. He ain't finna do that right now. Nah, the Canelo fans are the new Pactards, and that's a fact. Cantards, Canel hoes. Wow, you guys are going in. Talk that shit, Boxingego. What else? 100 facts. And laughing to all those dumb motherfuckers talking about I'm not reading this long ass post. If you think this is a long read, you got major problems. Exactly. Raza for Triple G. See, they riding with Triple G in the Mexican style. What else? Don't trip, ego. Boxing is your job and it's paying your bills, so talking about whatever fighter you want is fucking normal. Laugh out loud. Plus, he's still viewing your video. And that's the thing about the haters. The haters will tell you, like, oh, you suck and you're horrible, but you're on my video and you're constantly commenting, a lot of them. Damn that essay, though. Again, people's afraid to read. Christian said, I'm a Canelo fan, and you're right. Golden Boy needs to cut the BS and stop making excuses. It's a disgrace to the middleweight fighters that Canelo holds a middleweight title and fights at 155. He needs to give the real middleweights a chance for the title. Either stay at 155, quote unquote, without the belt, or move up to 160 division. Simple as that. Again, this was before the fight or got announced that Canelo was dumping the belts. Laugh out loud. Canelo's your dad. Triple G versus Canelo. Make it happen. What else? A lot of comments. A lot of people were talking about this. Son, this got to be one of the best posts I've seen about boxing so far. Everything he said was 1,000, and I don't always agree with him, but this was hitting it on the money on so many angles. It's just crazy. I agree with every word that man just said. Well, thanks for that. Both fighters are whack. That is what I've come to at this point. I don't understand why they're both whack. I mean, what did Triple G do wrong in this situation? I'm not talking about Triple G and Ward or whatever. Alright, what is this? Okay, it's actually hate pressure. Laugh out loud. This post dumb as fuck. That's why it's trying so hard to convince us. With yo, give me my belt hashtags. You ain't fooling no one. What are you talking about? I'm not fooling anyone. And what's so? See, that's the funny thing with the haters. The haters will say you're stupid. The post is stupid, and they don't explain. What did I say that you disagree with? You know what I mean? And what do you mean I'm not fooling anybody? And how is it hate pressure? Because I want to see Canelo fight a mandatory. It's hate pressure, right? It doesn't make sense. And then come to find out, a lot of these people, they look dumb in the end because they were saying, oh, this is hate pressure and all this stuff. And Canelo does exactly what I said was likely the case, and that's vacate. Laughing my ass off, Canelo tards. Canelo's your dad. Oh my gosh, thank you for that. Totally made my day. Boxingego, looks like that comment really bothered you. No, see, this is what I do. This is what I do. It has nothing to do with bothering me. I actually went after this and had a nice lunch and went to work out. I'm just speaking my mind, and then I keep it pushing. Canelo to vacate the belt. Damn, R. Guerrero 18 on point, because that's exactly what happened. Carlos Gotti said, I agree with you, Ego. We all just want to see a good fight in this. So this new era where Oscar claims to bring boxing back, he bashed Mayweather and does the same thing. Golden Boy are a bunch of hypocrites. Well said, brother. Now let's get to this last post. I rest my case. I made a post about Canelo vacating his title. Born Ready vacates his 160-pound title as interim champion. Triple G gets this WBC middleweight by default. You guys were saying, see last post. Hashtag checkmate. Let's see what people were saying. Let me load these comments up. Wow. See, obviously, when you have this many comments, people were clearly looking at this fight as a fight they wanted to see, because that many people wouldn't be talking about it. Like, I haven't heard this many people talking about, I don't know, the Charlo brothers' upcoming fight or other fights like that, you know what I mean? So, York Boxing said, Duck Nello makes me sick. Gay Nello. Boxing is getting worse every year. Fool's a weenie. Is he still down to put his gloves back on right now? Laugh out loud, boy is a mark. Triple G did what 50 Cent did to Ja Rule, ran him out. Wow. Something special, man. Hashtag I forgive Canelo, Triple G #1. Belts don't mean shit. He was forced to vacate due to WBC trying to push for the fight and not letting the teams negotiate. Again, that is false because they knew about, they would have to negotiate if they got past Khan, which they did. They knew about that way in December. And most camps don't go into a fight, especially being that much bigger, making Khan move up in weight, Khan having durability issues at 35 and 40. I mean, I'm pretty sure Canelo didn't walk into the fight scared, thinking he was going to lose to Amir Khan. So he knew after he beat Khan, that he knew what was up. Canelo will get a lot of backlash from this. Golden Boy better have a list of excuses as to why this fight wasn't made. Who's Canelo going to fight next? Midget Pacquiao or Triple G leftovers like Lemieux? Good point. I told you, it's going to be really imperative to see who each fighter picks next. Triple G needs a live body on his resume, somebody that the fans really feel can test him. So hopefully he gets a Billy Joe Saunders or Danny Jacobs if it's not Canelo. And whoever Canelo picks is going to be under scrutiny. And I do remember reading that Canelo said he wanted to fight 3 times this year. So whoever he picks next is going to be very, very important. It's going to be all eyes on Canelo. Laughing my ass off, chicken. Hashtag I won't be forced. Wow, you don't know shit about. Oh, he's talking to someone. Team Canelo. Sad to see Triple G get his unification this way. Hashtag give me my belt. Duck Nello. Perfect timing after that last post from some Canelo fuckboy. And to those who say the belt don't mean shit, didn't have enough time, they started talking before the Khan fight. Exactly what I just said. But Canelo kept ducking, so I don't want to hear that neither. Again, he knew if he beat Khan, he would have to fight him. So it's not like he just all of a sudden, it was a pop quiz and he knew, oh, I don't have enough time. 15 days is not enough. I need time. He knew in December for a fact that he would have to negotiate with Triple G. This continued behavior will taint his greatness if he achieves it. I don't believe he'll go down as a Mexican legend. Hashtag Team Triple G. Ha, wow, you called it, Ego. I'm really disappointed. See? Y'all must have forgot. I told y'all. Holy shit, Canelo really has to be the softest motherfucker out there. Laughing my ass off. Hashtag Triple G. Hashtag the King. My guess is that Duck Nelo's camp is going to find a way to blame Triple G for not making the fight possible. Wow, you guys are going in tonight. De La Hoya called Cotto a disgrace for vacating the same belt before he fought Canelo. So, of course, he does the same thing. Only this time it was to avoid a fight and not to avoid the price like Cotto. What a motherfucking bitch. It's a good move. Boxingego is a good move by Canelo. I still believe he will fight Triple G. Now it opens up for more things in negotiation. No, see, this is again, it opens up A-side demands. To me, that's what I see. It opens up for A-side demands because there's no point to vacate when it's a unification. Triple G being the interim champion, and up until this morning, Canelo was the WBC regular champion. So if you wanted to fight him at 160, it made no sense to vacate. So if anything, he's going to try to flex his A-side weight and say, come fight me under 160. There's no point to give up the belt other than that because, again, I don't buy the, oh, I need more time to negotiate in peace when you knew this was the case in December. Crazy. Triple G said all he cared about was the belt, but yeah, can't tell me he don't want the fight. He needs Canelo, and that's a fact. He does need a good big fight and a big name, but again, that still doesn't excuse Canelo dropping the belt. I'm not buying any more Canelo fight. Mas puto. Duck Nello. Everybody started trend Duck Nello. Wow, you guys are going in. Laughing myself. Fuck Canelo. Triple G won by intimidation. Laughing myself. Triple G all day. Again, this doesn't really hurt Triple G, in my opinion. It doesn't hurt him. Like, yeah, we wanted to see him fight somebody real to get the belt, but I mean, you can't blame him for Canelo vacating and abandoning the belts. Just like Peter Quillen, he vacated his belts. You know what I'm saying? So you can't blame the person who had to fight for the you know what I mean? That's like blaming Andy Lee and Matt Korobov that they're fighting for the vacant title because Peter Quillen vacated the belt. You know what I mean? Let me read a few more and I'm out. Ed said, let's give it up to Floyd Mayweather for giving Canelo the blueprint. See, again, more bullshit from the fans. Floyd Mayweather is retired. He said he's only coming out of retirement for Conor McGregor, possibly Danny Garcia. But either way, what the hell does Floyd Mayweather have to do with Canelo, a middleweight lineal champion, vacating instead of fighting his mandatory? Again, Floyd already beat Canelo, right? So what? It's funny how fans, like, they refuse to, instead of just saying and focusing on the issue at hand, what Canelo did, what happened with Canelo, what happened with Gennady Golovkin, the chronological order and the timeline of events. With this, they always deflect and bring up other, oh, but Peter Quillen, he vacated. Riddick Bowe vacated back in '93. Like, that, none of that has nothing to do with you want to talk about something that happened in '93 when In Living Color was on the air, but you don't want to talk about what currently happened today in boxing with Canelo. Stick to the subject. Floyd Mayweather has nothing to do with it. Yeah, Floyd got on an interview or something and said, I wouldn't fight. He said something like Canelo don't need to fight Triple G. He should wait or something like that. But Floyd is not Canelo's counsel. He's not his advisor. So you can't blame Floyd Mayweather for stating his opinion. Everyone has an opinion. Everyone in boxing really has an opinion. But everyone's, oh, Mayweather gave him the blueprint. If Canelo wanted to prove that it's the best fighting the best, and like we say in Mexico, we don't fuck around, and Floyd was suggesting, let's say that is hypothetically, let's say that's the Floyd Mayweather blueprint, why would you follow it if everything you said was true? Like we said in Mexico, we don't fuck around. Yeah, I invited Golovkin into the ring. You're gonna follow somebody else's lead that doesn't go, it's not in unison and it's not synonymous with your message and what you, the things you've said in interviews about wanting to be the best and the best fighting the best, and like we say in Mexico, we don't fuck around. Why would you follow someone else's blueprint? So again, you can't blame Floyd Mayweather or anybody else, Chocolatito or anybody else, for Canelo vacating. And that wraps up this video. Let me know what you guys think. Here's what they think about you style. I read a lot of comments. Drop your comments in the comment section. Share the video, like the video. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.